Of all the horrible deeds that have been committed by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle on their campaign to get revenge against the royal family, I think there is nothing worse than allowing the Queen and Prince Philip to die haunted by these false accusations that the royal family is filled with a bunch of racists. There is no doubt in my mind that it was Meghan and her husband Prince Harry who allowed such a global narrative to develop. It all started with that fiasco of an interview they did with Oprah Winfrey, which included the story of the mysterious royal racist who asked about an unborn Archie's skin color, and it culminated in that Commonwealth-hating Netflix docuseries that came out in December, which was trying to undermine the life's work of the late Queen to move on from the perceived sins of the British Empire. And if anybody tries to claim otherwise, they are being intellectually dishonest. After all, it was only in January of this year that Harry finally set the record straight about the racism allegations and claimed that it was unconscious bias instead of outright racism. Of course, he said that during that whiny interview he did with Tom Bradby of ITV. I mean, unconscious bias does not mean a thing. It's a woke idea that can be applied to basically anything if you just so happen to be white. And by then, it was way too late. The damage had already been done, and that included William having to state publicly, "We are very much not a racist family." And then, of course, the hijacking of William's tour with Catherine to the Caribbean. That was all done and finished, and the late Queen had already passed. And now we're finding out that Meghan had in the past written to her father-in-law to concede that the poor soul she had targeted on an international scale was not actually racist whatsoever. The Daily Telegraph has revealed that the letters make clear the identity of the senior member of the family who made the comment, and that both the King and Meghan acknowledge that the individual's remark was not made with malice. Now, the royal editor for that newspaper, Victoria Ward, is very well connected. She is one of the few British journalists who is thought to have not been formally cut off by the Sussexes, and she reported, "The Duchess's letter is also said to suggest that she had never intended to specifically accuse the individual involved of being a racist, but was raising concerns about unconscious bias." So Meghan's private choice to take back her nasty words in response to a letter sent by King Charles makes it even worse that she and Harry stayed silent in public while allowing such a horrible allegation to take hold and do the UK monarchy some lasting damage overseas. I'm curious at times about the forgiving nature of the king when it comes to Harry and Meghan. Because this is the same woman who wrote to her own father in consultation with royal aides, expecting that the letter would probably be leaked to the press. And let's not forget, it was clear the implication that she was making to Oprah when she was talking about how the royals had concerns and conversations about how dark her unborn baby's skin might be when he is born. Now, only 2 weeks before the big day, Meghan has found another way to insert herself into the drama, and also, of course, to create some drama out of nothing. And as ever, she is trying her best to destabilize the royal family at such an important moment. It seems to be hers and Harry's goal at this point. They have spent the last 3 years creating this whole circus against the royal family through Oprah and Netflix and so many other interviews too, press statements, briefings, and Meghan has the nerve to try and wash her hands of the whole mess. In a statement that was first released to her propagandist, that strange guy Scooby-Doo, Meghan's spokesperson says, "The Duchess of Sussex is going about her life in the present, not thinking about correspondence from 2 years ago related to conversations from 4 years ago." He went on to say, "Any suggestion otherwise is false and frankly ridiculous. We encourage tabloid media and various royal correspondents to stop the exhausting circus that they alone are creating." I mean, is she serious? If I did not know the front of this mattress actress turned fake humanitarian, I would have assumed that that statement was supposed to be satire for some spoof website. Even more absurd is the fact that Meghan and Harry's friends are now wanting to spin that it is the lack of a response from King Charles to Meghan's letter that's the real reason behind her not attending the coronation. Oh, give me a break. The fact is, Meghan cannot handle the idea of being booed by the thousands of monarchists who are going to get together for the event and are a lot more appalled than even I am about the way that she has treated her family, the monarchy as an institution, and the UK, after everybody welcomed her with open arms. So I think it's important to continue revealing the truth of Meghan's time spent in the royal family so that Meghan and Harry's propaganda can never take hold. The stakes are very high. In fact, I'm afraid the very future of the monarchy is under threat. Within the left-wing media world at least, Meghan and Harry's little game plan seems to be working. So today, the BBC, which I think I'm going to start calling the British Bashing Corporation, has made another attempt to undermine the vast popularity of the royal family at a time of transition. It was in a primetime panorama documentary, and it claims that it proves public opinion about the British royals is changing. So the evidence they give is a single online poll that demonstrates more than a third of 18 to 24-year-olds want the monarchy to continue, and then nearly half of the people who they asked from ethnic minority groups say that the royal family has a problem with race and diversity. But the reality of the situation is that only 26% of the people they polled actually want an elected head of state, suggesting that almost 3/4 of the population is behind the new king. But according to their poll, when it comes to people between the ages of 18 and 24, only 32% want the monarchy to continue. That's compared to 64% back in 2013. And an academic has concluded Charles has a problem with Gen Z. Well, if that's true, I think we know exactly who's to blame in this situation. It's Meghan and Prince Harry. They are still the biggest problems in the British monarchy. But if you ask me, in some ways, they're also the biggest asset. Because when you compare Meghan Markle as a person and her woke victimhood narrative, while she also refuses to do any real work for the British public, when you compare that with the consistent and stoic and unglamorous work that's provided to the UK by the King and Camilla, Princess Anne, Prince Edward and Sophie, and Prince William and Catherine, there is no comparison whatsoever. Narcissists are pretty interesting people, huh? They've got a way of dismissing what is obvious. If Meghan does know that people despise her, well, she assumes it's because of the royal family and the media. Nothing could ever be her fault. If people could only realize what a genuine, wonderful, amazing, caring, kind person she really is, they would never be saying these bad things about her. And that's why there are so many media PR puff pieces coming from her PR people. That's why she and Harry keep it up with the interviews, the podcast, the book, and the docuseries. They believe that people will fall in love with them if we can just hear the story from them. But in the end, it does not matter how hard the people at the BBC and the rest of those in the left-wing media try to spin for Meghan. Even the wokest of the woke are going to realize that Meghan and Harry only care about themselves, whereas the other members of the royal family are there for the UK and the Commonwealth in ways that an elected politician never could be. The only people who have created this exhausting circus are definitely Harry and Meghan. They are clearly the ringmasters. And you, what do you think about this couple? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments section, and we can also talk about Meghan and Harry. If you preferred our video today, please remember to like and share it with anyone else who would enjoy it. And please